Bam Adebayo has looked very different this offseason, playing with Team USA, and I'm here to tell you if he continues this level of play going into next season, not only could he be one of the best players in the world, but definitely up for an MVP. I'm here to break down his dominating performance against South Sudan right now on this episode of Heat Digest. So let's get to it and break down domination by Bam and by Team USA. Again, I know I say it all the time on these videos covering the Olympic basketball, but if you're not already watching Olympic basketball every time you get the chance to, you absolutely need to. This roster, this game is so much fun to watch. It's different than NBA basketball because there is a bit of a rule difference from Olympic ball to NBA basketball. And again, it's exciting. The team we put out there is ridiculous on paper, and it's ridiculous on the floor. These guys, even the guys that don't start, the guys that do start, they're all starting on NBA teams. They're all all-stars on NBA teams, and a lot of them are Hall of Famers already, if not going to be Hall of Famers by the time their career ends. This roster is ridiculous, and we really should beat everyone the same way we beat South Sudan, and that was by 103-86, a very large margin. Once again, I will say in the first quarter, it was a bit competitive, but once that first quarter ended and the rest of the game kept going, it felt like Team USA was on a run, and they were really never going to look back. The ability to go and have the amount of depth and just versatility that this roster has, it seems pretty impossible for anyone to really compete with us. Now, for the box score, we'll break down the fact that Bam Adebayo, by far and away, was the best player on the floor for the Team USA yesterday. I almost said the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo, in 20 minutes of basketball, shot 8 of 10 from the field. 6 of 7 of them were two-point shots. He did make 2 of his 3-point attempts. Again, that is massive for Bam Adebayo. He did add 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers, unfortunately, 1 personal foul, with 18 points and a plus-minus of plus 22. Bam Adebayo with by far and away his best game of the Olympics, at least this year. And again, he was the leader of this Team USA team in this game against South Sudan. And again, he was mentioned by Brian Windhorst, one of the top insiders of the game of basketball today, about how he possibly will not play in this game. Now, that is funny. That is really funny. And we talked about this on the video previously on Heat Digest, how we were breaking down that quote from Windhorst and how we were questioning it. I was questioning how Bam would be the one to say if Joel Embiid is the one who can't really move as laterally outside the perimeter. Like, yes, he's a great defender inside the paint, but so is Bam Adebayo, and Bam also is versatile to the point where he can step out to that perimeter, outside that three-point line, and be able to defend those three-point shooters and those long, lengthy athletes that South Sudan did have on their roster yesterday. So again, shout out to NBA Central for this picture and the quote from Brian Windhorst, as he says Bam Adebayo was all over him after yesterday's game, going on to say, and I quote, "Bam Adebayo was all over me after the game because I speculated he might get his minutes reduced." And again, that quote is from Brian Windhorst. Again, we all know who Brian Windhorst is. He's constantly been in the game of basketball ever since I was a kid watching basketball growing up. He's been around. He's been a reporter. He's been a journalist, and he's a damn good one. But again, he did miss on the idea that Bam Adebayo would be the next player to get the Tatum/Halliburton treatment like we saw in Game 1 against Serbia, where both of those players did not play a single minute of basketball. We saw that in this game against South Sudan, but once again, it was not Bam Adebayo, but Joel Embiid. Yes, one of the best players in the world, without a doubt. Whether you like Philly or not, whether you like Embiid or not, it's hard to defend the fact that make the claim that he is not one of the best players in the world. He is unstoppable when he is healthy. The fact that he can shoot as well as he does, really with no jump on his jump shot, he's impossible to guard. And I don't know how anyone does it. You just have to get lucky in the fact that he's just not making shots that night. For the rest of the box score, we have to address the fact that this team is just, again, like I said, so dominant. There's so many different options. Obviously, for the starting 5, you had Devin Booker, Anthony Davis. Jason Tatum did play in this game. He started. LeBron James and Curry. Curry could not find the bottom of the bucket if he had to in this game against South Sudan. He went 1 of 9 from the field and 0 of 6 from behind the three-point line. Only player with a negative plus-minus on the entire team, with a -1 plus-minus. Don't like to see that. But then he had a -2 plus minus. Not the only one. I was looking at the efficiency rating. But again, the only player with a negative efficiency rating is what I meant. But for the rest of the team, obviously LeBron James is doing his thing despite being 40 years old. I don't know how he is doing it. 12 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Overall, a great game. He did have 6 turnovers, but again, the ball never comes out of his hand. For Kevin Durant will be the lone guy I mentioned off the bench next to Bam Adebayo. He was not as great as he was against Serbia, where he didn't miss in the first half, going 8 of 8, but he did shoot 2 of 5 from the field. He missed all 3 of his 2-point attempts, which is funny, as he did make both of his 3-point attempts. He added 14 points, but his plus-minus was the highest on the entire team at plus 26. Overall, a great performance from Kevin Durant and the rest of this Team USA team. But again, Bam Adebayo at the forefront, really leading the way after facing some adversity from Brian Windhorst. Obviously not an active player, has never been a player, but still throwing out a notable idea in the sense that maybe he doesn't play, maybe his minutes are even reduced. And again, that did not happen. Joel Embiid was the lone man out who did not play. Halliburton did get to play in this game. Played pretty well for his first actual competitive Olympic game, which is great to see. And now we move on to Puerto Rico. We will play in 2 days on August 3rd, and this should be very exciting. This is the earliest game that we've had up to this point, the 11:15, 11:30 a.m. game, Eastern Standard Time. So we need to win this game once again. It is another pool play game for Team USA. Again, if you don't know how it works, you get 1 point for a loss, you get 2 points for every win, and you should really attempt to beat the teams in your own pool. Again, it works the same way as divisions. There's 4 teams per pool, and the top team at the end of the pool then moves on to the next round is the best way I'm understanding it. But again, just think of it as the same way as a NBA or NFL or whatever sport you enjoy the most type of division, in the sense that they're broken down into small categories, and then they once they surpass that, then they go on and play other teams from other pools. So again, Team USA playing Puerto Rico, who is in our pool. This is a pool, or this is like an in-conference or in-division matchup. We absolutely need to win. And again, I think we will absolutely dominate. There's no real answer to why we wouldn't dominate. We would have to have substantial injuries to multiple players on the team for us to even have a competitive game, at least in my opinion. Or if they just, I don't know. I can't even think of a world where we could lose a game with the roster we have. And Bam Adebayo, once again, is at the forefront of it. Whether you like it or not, Bam Adebayo is one of the best players in the world already. And if he continues this level of play, where he goes out there and he gives you, and again, this is like a 20-10 game in a Team USA game. Obviously, it's not. He didn't have 10 rebounds. He didn't have 20 points. But again, if he wasn't playing alongside Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Devin Booker, like these guys who are taking stats from him, taking minutes from him, his numbers would be so much more inflated because he is that elite level of a player. But again, share the wealth. As long as we win, we are doing fine. I don't think we're going to see a game where Bam Adebayo doesn't see the floor because of the versatility he does bring. And I think going into next season, playing this well, playing again with these guys, I think he's going to go into next season absolutely dominant. I think he's going to have a different approach to the game of basketball, working with Spoelstra, Butler, and the rest of this Miami Heat team. I think he's really going to have a phenomenal career year, and he might even get paid again in a year or two from this Miami Heat team because they'll just feel obligated to lock him up for the entirety of his career. But again, Bam Adebayo, watch out for him. He's going to be one of the best players in the world, without a doubt, without any conversation, by the end of next year. You heard it here first. But again, let me know down in the comments what you guys feel about Team USA basketball, Bam's performance, or just who's your favorite player on Team USA and who do you think's been playing the best for Team USA up to this point. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest. Thank you guys for watching.